We are live.
Okay.
Hello.
We're here.
We're here.
We have an intro song, y'all. I don't know how to do it before the video gets posted, so.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have to do that to the after party part of the when it gets posted. Which I guess I actually have to do that part, don't I?
Well, I mean, we're on your channel right now, so yeah.
Yeah. Welcome to the Cauldron of Conspiracies. Dun dun dun.
Dun 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 dun.
Dun 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 dun.
Well, let me go into the comments.
Okay, sorry.
Oh, there are people there. I was on the wrong pad. Hi. I was like, there's no one here. Okay. Everybody's here. Okay, so we have decided last minute that Cauldron of Conspiracies is also going to involve alcohol. So if you are of age and you don't have an issue, please feel free to partake while we're talking.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we all know why we're here, to talk about the things that nobody talks about in the light of day, which I guess is our whole life. So let's go. What's our first topic? What you got written down? What do we want to talk about?
Did you want to wait a few minutes so that a few more people get in here?
Oh, crap. Yeah, sure. I'm so excited. Come on, y'all.
Also, go ahead and make your drink.
Get a snack.
About 3 minutes. Yeah. Let's do it. Yeah. What are you drinking? Share what your drink is while we're waiting for a few people.
I'm having a cheated margarita. Meaning it came pre-made in a bag that I keep in my freezer.
Yeah, she told her husband, can you make me a margarita? And then all of a sudden it was there. I'm like, damn, he is fast.
They're on tap in this house, damn it.
I'm drinking Jack Daniel's Fire with Big Red.
Ooh, nice. A little sweet, a little spicy.
It's delicious. Yes. Oh, somebody else is on the Tennessee Fire too. Girl, where did it go? Someone said they got the Tennessee Fire. The Cauldron with. Have you tried it with Big Red? It'll change your life. Let me tell you. Ours straight up, it's good on the rocks too. So
I don't think I've ever had it, to be honest.
It's so good. I think a lot of people think it's like Fireball, and it's not. It's good. It's so good.
I have to try it. Mama had a margarita when she was over for dinner earlier tonight. And I have to tell you, she came over with Dad, and we watched Practical Magic over homemade chicken noodle soup.
Was it her first time?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. It was good, wasn't it?
She liked it.
Monique is on her Jameson neat.
Okay. I can't do a lot of liquor, but I can do a margarita.
Yeah, the Cauldron, which verified to me, it is not Fireball. Yeah, my daughter-in-law right now, I was telling her to have some, and she thought it was going to be like Fireball, and she didn't want any. I'm like, it's not like Fireball. I don't do Fireball. I have Fireball on my bar because a lot of people like it, but I don't drink it.
So the Jameson is more of a sweet tangy than a cinnamon hot.
It's okay. So it does have a slight cinnamon to it, but it's more of a sweet to it. It's you really got to try it. Like it's good by itself. I like it with Big Red.
I'll go over to Tupac's tomorrow and get some.
It's like a sweet cinnamon, not a hot cinnamon.
Yeah. Okay.
It's so good. It's so good. Yeah. So let's see how many people we have in there. You can only see that, not me.
Oh, yeah, that's right. 60 people so far. 65, sorry.
Oh, I think we can start it. That should how much I wait. Yeah, and we got some wine drinkers in here. Man, I love me some wine too. Sweet red or sweet white or sweet pink. I don't like the dry.
Oh my God.
Is Rowan here? Because Rowan was supposed to be like 2 sheets to the wind by the time we started. I talked to him on the way home today.
He's here. He's in here. Blue Knight's here too.
We came unprepared, but then I talked to my kids about some stuff, and so we have a list to get started. And we're gonna start. So, like, this is our first episode, something we've been wanting to do. We really haven't, because of how life has been and the things that we've had to accomplish. We haven't really had a lot of time to like sit and discuss how we want it to go. So we are going to just go with it. I also think we should open up, because we don't have a guest tonight. I think we should open it up to people in the chat, anybody who wants to come in and talk to us or share a conspiracy theory of their own.
Or anything. Oh, like people that have like witnessed, not alien abductions, but like, I mean, if you've witnessed an alien abduction, it's amazing.
Yeah.
But people see sightings of stuff all the time. And like, who do you tell? Because some people, really? And then, like, so this is the platform to be like, this happened to me today.
Yeah. No judgment here. All goes. There's never judgment here anyway, no matter what channel we're on, what segment we're on, and what we're doing.
Exactly.
So I can't share the link. You're going to have to share the link when we're ready to go there. And then, but this one, my son has been talking about, my oldest son, Junior, he's been talking about for a minute. Bex is here.
Hey. Crimson's here too.
Really, where? See, I think my chat might be delayed.
Yeah, Crimson Fry is here. Marty's here. Hey, Marty.
Sweet. I just can't. So sweet. Okay, so he was talking about the Area 51 theory. Have you heard about it?
I've heard so many. So many.
So this theory is that we actually all are already in Area 51. And Area 51 is the exit. And that's why they shoot you on the spot, because they don't want you to leave.
So it's the reverse simulation tactic. I got you.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So I put death pal, because you're not allowed to go there without dying. So what do you think about that theory? Because I was also thinking there could be other exits as well. Yeah. I
mean, it's in the middle of the desert. Like we don't know what's out there. Like, you know what I mean? I think that's an interesting theory, because you're right. You're not allowed to go in. And they have, okay, so there's the barrier, and then there's barriers.
You can't fly over it.
No, it's a no-fly zone. Like, you get rerouted anytime you get within a 10-foot, I don't know how many mile radius of it. And, like, normal people, like, we have no clue what it looks like. We have no clue of the surrounding area or anything. I know the city of Roswell is quite close to it, but it's not like there. Kind of like Salem and Danvers, right? So you have Danvers, which is the original Salem proper. And then you have the commercial industrial area, consumer area of Salem, where all the museums and all that stuff is. But it's not in Danvers, where the original witch trials took place.
Oh, Crimson said, "Don't get me started on Area 51." Does that mean you want the link? You want to come in and talk about it with us? Do you want the link, man? I would love that. Think about the other spots in the world, not just the Bermuda Triangle, but other places that you can't go.
Oh yeah, you're talking about that can't, like, no, you're not allowed to go to.
Yeah, they're exits. Like everywhere.
It ties into the portal theory too, though.
Yeah.
Because there have been reports.
Another thing that he was talking about is us living in a simulation.
I heard that a lot.
And he kind of blew my mind tonight. He's like, how sometimes you're going down the freeway and then all of a sudden you're like surrounded by white cars because like the color is off. And I've been where I'm looking at a tree and it starts to look a little purple. And I'm just like, wait a minute, that's green. Why is it looking purple right now?
Another thing, that autopilot sensation you get where you get in your car when you leave work and then all of a sudden you're home and you don't like have a recollection of how you got there
at all. Yeah. Like in our world, the witch world, it's said to be one of the most common forms of meditation is driving meditation.
Yep.
But it just makes you wonder, because that's why we kind of call this Cauldron of Conspiracies, because we still want to mix, who we are in, because I think it goes together.
I do too. I think so. Okay, we're gonna get biblical.
Random witch said, "This is what I'm talking about." See, what about that island that has a tribe of people that don't allow anyone near it? Have you you get killed if you get there? It's like they're protecting the exit. Have you heard about that place?
I have.
Yeah, no human has ever made it off of that island, or on the island, actually.
I don't think if they get on it, they ain't getting off.
Yeah. Dead.
Okay.
That's a good one.
We're going to go down so many avenues.
That's why I think some more people need to come in here with us. Who wants to come in and talk with us?
Who's up first? Because we need to get to the bottom of some of this. The Matrix and deja vu theory. Now, the deja vu theory, that's interesting. The Matrix one is a little bit harder for me to swallow, but I can get on board with some of it. The Mandela effect will send me into a downward spiral you don't want me to hit. I can't handle the Reba McEntires of the world.
Crimson wants the link.
Okay, so I hit share or invite.
It depends on how you want to do it. So if you want to put it in the comments, you would share it, I guess. And then if you want to invite, you need to send it to her directly. Okay, I'm gonna put it for the chair that I picked. I'm like not comfortable. You know when your ass hangs off the side of the chairs because your ass is bigger than the chair seat?
Yeah, hello.
That's what's happening.
Right, Crimson, I'm putting it in here for you specifically at this point in time. All right, it's in the chat.
All right, Crimson, that is for you, ma'am.
Coming in from Australia.
Nice. Let's see. Oh, Blue Knight said something. Hold on. Where did it go?
Oh,
things are moving fast.
I have a whole topic that I need to make notes on before I'm on this segment. Okay, make notes. Make notes.
Because he is one of the guests that's coming up, right?
Yes. We need to date those out, by the way. I guess we need to find dates for stuff.
We do. Okay. So those are the things that I got. He started off talking about something else that we didn't really have a lot of information on. So this chair is just not comfortable. Okay, I'm gonna go sideways with it and to the side.
Sorry. What topic did he not have enough in? I just want to know what it is.
About the flat Earth, because that kind of goes into what we're saying, where you can only go so far before people you're not allowed to go. So it kind of goes into what we're already talking about with the whole Area 51. Like we could already be in like an Area 51 or a simulation of some sort.
Yeah, the boundaries, specific boundaries, and okay.
I'm sitting sideways. No, I'm sitting sideways because my ass is just too big for this chair.
Is that your makeup chair?
Look, it's a struggle.
Crimson, it's in the chat. I don't know if you're still. I haven't seen her now.
She says she's coming in out of the garden.
Oh, okay. So it'll be a second. Okay, so
do you actually believe in like aliens, other lives other than what's here?
Oh yeah, of course. I think it's highly arrogant to think that we're the only ones floating around in this giant universe that can't even be measured.
I'm asking you like I didn't know the answer, like I'm interviewing you. I've never talked to you.
Yeah. Well, I gave a broader answer because people might not know how.
There's always a witch about the Black Eyed Kids. I feel there she is.
Hello. Hey. Garden witch today. So I'm just like, Area 51. You started, and I'm in the garden. And I'm pulling weeds, and I'm just like, okay, we're here now. Like we started this now, didn't we?
We're here.
Firstly, I haven't seen you since last week. So what's going on in the world? We're talking Cauldron. What's it called? Cauldron
of Conspiracies.
Oh God.
Wait, April, you say it.
Cauldron of. Oh, you want me to do the voice? Cauldron of Conspiracies.
I love it. So I know I've missed something because I've been running from the garden. I'm a little bit out of breath, and I'm just like, but you spoke about Area 51, and can we retouch on that? Because I got some stuff to say about that. I don't live in the States. I've been obsessed with Area 51 forever because
we're all getting closer. We're like, oh.
Because the energy around that space is very similar to the Peruvian energy that happens around the peaks of Peru. And a lot's said about there that there's spacecraft coming out of the big lake up in the top of Peru. And so there's like historical record of people talking about, all this energy. And in Area 51, it's all desert, right? It's all, So it's the same energetic signature, because if you look at the ley lines, the way they cross, it's in a similar format and a pattern, and it's creating such a full-on effect, right? It's like a drawing energy, and it can either be an entrapping energy. I don't know if you know the terminology, like a nexus of energy, where energies can converge and create this massive. Now, depending on how you wield it, it's going to be either entrapment or it's going to be elevation. And I believe Area 51 is used for entrapment. And yes, like I mentioned, in Peru is the space there is for liberation and connectivity. So and if you're looking at the same beings, I call them extra dimensional beings, not extraterrestrial, extra dimensional beings.
I like that.
Yeah.
So one is where I believe that there's a lot of energy there, and there's in Mexico as well. There's some places in Mexico,
yes,
that same energy of that elevative, connective energy, portal energy. Now, you guys can Google the hell out of this if you want, because there's lots of tidbits in there, right? But Area 51, I'm like, something's going down where they're entrapping that energy. They're literally holding it captive. And I'm pissed, because we need it. We need all of that liberation of energy. Anyway, so that was my two tidbits from the garden. Like,
no, that's perfect, because they're okay.
About to explode while you were talking, like she was just like, "You talk faster, feed it to me."
Yeah. Okay, but I've had this theory.
Mm-hmm.
So we're talking about a being or species that is higher elevated than we are when it comes to anything beyond our planet, right?
Mm-hmm.
So to me, because ley lines are so energetic, they throw out so much power. I mean, they control everything around them, including above and below. How has it not been thought of? And maybe it has, that these are like layman's terms, because I don't know the big boy words. You know how on a landing strip there's the lights for the planes, the radar?
Yes, they are.
That's what I'm saying. It's like pulling them in, and then because we're assholes, like we gotta like cordon it off and like harness it all and do bad things with it. But that's
we can't change it. We cannot change the ley lines of the earth, and that's the thing. I don't care how powerful a government is. They've tried to do a lot. But let me tell you, these are the veins of the earth. They're like the electrical grid of the earth. So the core of the earth coming through, and think about it like our veins, right? If you look at like your wrist and you see your veins, and they fork and they do what they do, and sometimes they cross. You can see the cross lines through veins. I mean, they don't intersect, but they cross. Same thing as ley lines. They don't ever intersect, as in one begets another. It is they cross over on parallels, all these things. I know I'm like such a nerd for this shit. Like I can't even like.
No, the chat is going crazy about it. I like this comment. Tammy the Witch says it needs to be held, but there could be a way to share it. Like, what do you mean? Like most people are like it should be free, like that. That's like the thing. Like it should be free, but she feels, or he feels, or they feel, it should be held but shared, like controlled but shared. Maybe because it's so powerful, but then there's always going to be someone who dictates where it goes.
Mm-hmm.
And that's that's interesting. We can have difference of opinions, and that's cool.
Yeah, it does piss me off though, because I tell you, and I'm not the comment itself, but the notion of control, right? For me, if we're dealing with, and I'm going to keep calling them extra dimensional beings, if you don't mind. If we're dealing with extra
call them from now on, so just so you know, I just stole that from you.
That's a perfect term, because we can't say that they're terrestrial. They could be us light years from now. They're just beings.
Because so do we want to get really deep here? Do we want to go like to the bottom of the jar?
Dig
We're going
the
Okay, she was trying to call this down the rabbit hole, so it's as deep as you want to go.
So if you look around 2000, and I like, guys, write notes here, people, because like you should go down this rabbit hole and think for yourself and choose for yourself, right? But around the 2500 BC, what we see across the globe is there are different monuments and landmarks that are erected roughly around the same time. We have Stonehenge, we have the pyramids, we have the Hindu temples across India. We have so many. And then there are things that are predating that, but I'll get down further into the rabbit hole later if you want. But this energy is around the 2500 BC. And usually we look at these things as separate things because no one really had contact with each other, right? But because the land masses were so far apart, travel wasn't as easy as it is. We didn't have the internet.
Right.
So what happens when you actually see the same format of symbolism coming up across cultures in that same time?
That's what I'm saying.
How does that happen? Like, we've got critical mass. Critical mass is, you know, when a whole bunch of people get together. There's an experiment done with a bunch of monkeys on an island. I can't even remember the experiment name, where critical mass hits and then the monkeys use their tools and whatever. But this is not critical mass because this is global. I mean, the whole globe starts to erect and they're all positioned with a solstice or an equinox in mind. That it's across the globe, and they are, you might see from Google Earth, there are still formations that are created by human hand in terms of hieroglyphs. We're not talking crop circles, we're talking about I can't remember what the name is, but they're just like, there's a horse one and there's a person one, right? Like that are all over there, and they're used as markers from where? Because we can't see them when we're on the ground.
Exactly.
Right? So all of these things are happening at the bloody same time, roughly. And then you get the pictures, because look, we didn't have written word as much then, but we did have pictographs where people would actually create pictures in explanation of things, like what do they call them? The hieroglyphs in Egypt, things like that. And then you've got cave paintings as well. Now, all of these beings are pictured as massive, as like giants even.
They're in huge fields. There's no way they could have been created by you standing there doing it. You would have to be connected from someone above you.
Exactly.
And there's this information relay that's happening across cultures through these stories, these narratives that are given, that are showing us what they're being taught. All of them are being taught. And they're being taught at the same time across the globe. How?
Add to that, they're all different dialects speaking about the same thing at the same time. Now, who can do that? None of us. I mean, you know how long it would take us to learn all
now? Maybe. I mean, honestly, through the internet now, maybe it's a stream of information, but there was none of this. Like, there was none of this.
No. Maybe
how do you do that? That's a theory. Like, that's a conspiracy for me. Like, how does that get done unless there's a extra dimensional, more intelligent being, or race, or I don't know what you want to bloody call it, but it is what it is. That is relaying information simultaneously to the populace of our planet at the time.
Right. Exactly.
And I can sound like a raving lunatic, and that's okay. But you tell me that you don't see the Titans and the Olympians in the Grecian pantheon, that you don't see all the Egyptian gods in their massive format. They were depicted bigger than anything else. Again, in Norse mythology, you will see exactly the same thing with the giants at the same time. And they're all now called Odin, Loki, Thoth, Zeus, like... So extra dimensional beings, are we now, because this is the Cauldron of Conspiracies, are we now not in which territory?
Yes.
Exactly.
And you should see the chat, y'all. Like, I wasn't spacing out. I was reading this chat. Like, this is blowing up over here, guys. Like,
well, okay, let's turn it up a notch. Okay. So we have all these pantheons that freely mention, and categorize and log down all these giants and everything that they have, right? Like we know them all. They're all
Yep.
written down for us to see. So if you go to the Bible or biblical,
Yes.
they were all removed, or most of them. There are little hints here and there of the giants, of beings, being part animal. Yes. I mean, but they were removed because that's not what they, when that book was every time it was rewritten, which has been multiple times in multiple languages, parts were taken out. Parts were taken out. Why is that, do you think?
How do we control the masses?
I love Margarita April. Yeah. I love Margarita April.
Full circle, right? Because the whole thing is, that's why I'm pissed off with control. Trying to control the ley lines, trying to control energy centers, trying to control extra dimensional beings is literally what we've had happen over and over again with information that empowers individuals.
Yes, here, Beck says that Genesis 6 -14 is about giants. Mm-hmm. And then someone over here, T. Michelle, says the giants, according to some, went into the earth waiting for their time to emerge.
Yep.
Like that was a theory about the heads of Easter Island.
Do you see all this going on in the chat? Like you don't
say anything, but I'm relying on the information that you're passing around.
Yeah, it amuses me at the level of control. And then we're coming full circle, just like you said, but on a different manner. Mm-hmm. We haven't learned anything yet.
That's the problem.
Exactly. We haven't learned anything.
The horned one said, how many of us witches have had, where'd it go? Have been having a lot of confrontation in the past week, if not today. Right here.
In terms of face-to-face, because I'm in lockdown 6.0 right now.
Well, that's lovely.
That's right. Yeah. Lucky. I mean, I know doesn't feel lucky, but like the people we're dealing with on this other side of the world.
Okay. I guess you can't see the chat, but yeah, people are saying me.
Yeah,
and then somebody else said the veil is very thin and it's not even October. Mm-hmm. And they're talking about the confrontations and I haven't even talked to April about some of the stuff that's been going on.
There's a lot of Leo.
Yeah.
Well, people are so frustrated, and everybody's frustrated. We're going back in, you're in lockdown right now. We're heading, yep. I feel like heading that way again. And I started my day with a woman telling my whole crew that we were annoying because we needed her rabies certificate for her dog. How was that?
That is not annoying. You groom dogs. You want to make sure they have their rabies shots because you get bit all the time.
She was so ugly, she put my groomer in tears at 8:05 in the morning.
Wow.
Wow.
Chug it.
Oh. And
if we look at it celestially right now, I don't know how many people follow the stars in astrology because you can tell I'm that person. We're in, our sun is in Leo right now. I'm a Leo rising, so it's my happy place right now. But for most people, it can bring on that confrontational challenge because it's like, look at me, pay attention to me kind of energy.
Yeah.
Oh my God, exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. I'm going to do what April did.
I love you so much. This energy, that's our sun, but we've got lots of planets that we are, with, and we happen to be actually today here, and you guys shortly thereafter, we're dark moon Leo as well, heading into new moon Leo. So it's all the Leo energy. So dark moon brings out, everyone's sewerage, anything that that you need to deal with, you're dealing with on a dark moon. The night before a new moon, you're going, or the couple of days before a new moon, you're going through all the shadow, all the crap, right? So that could also be pressing people's buttons, Did
you see that comment?
No.
Of the egos, it's Leo season.
I'm a Leo. What's the thing in the middle? So I'm a Aries sun or Aries rising, Leo, something Virgo moon. What is the thing in the middle?
So the moon is in the middle.
Okay.
The rising sign is your sun sign. What's your sun sign? Your actual Aries. So
Yeah.
you're the sun. What did you say your moon was?
I thought it was a Virgo moon, but it might be a Leo.
So
I'm
if it's
Aries,
it might be a moon right now.
Let's just make it confrontational.
Unfortunately, I haven't always been confrontational.
You can recognize it in everyone. I'm just happen to be in lockdown. I don't know if you can hear, and I apologize. We're out in the garden. I'm like literally, because it's winter, I'm ripping out everything and creating more spaces for my babies, right? So,
I was looking at your warm clothes. I'm like, it must be cold. It must be nice. It's triple digits.
It's very nice to sit here and talk to you while they do all the work. Absolutely. Don't get me wrong. They're just doing all the things right now. But you'll hear the power tools and the drills and the stuff going on in the background. But yeah, I'm sorry. I really, really could not resist coming in and speaking about Area 51.
Oh, I absolutely love that. And crazy. If you have time later to go look at the chat before it disappears.
Yeah.
It was some good conversations happening in there. It was, Muhammad's here. Hey. Again, we need his voice in one of our videos at some point.
But this energy is really, really cool at the moment, just because we're in between two Aquarius moons, which is really like two Aquarius full moons, and we've just hit the age of Aquarius, if you believe that kind of thing, right? So this is all elevation, and we are sat here, all three of us, on the Cauldron of Conspiracies, and this is exactly what this in between is all about. Between this area, Aquarius, sorry, it's about talking about the bloody truth, bringing out the hidden, like make it visible, like talk about shit, you know?
Let me tell you, when I first typed in Cauldron of Conspiracies to go on my channel to let people know we're over here, YouTube turned my phone off. Turned my phone off. I'm like, what the hell? Well, I didn't see hell. It's not my channel. And I had to do it all over again. And when I went in there to add April's link into the description box, it wasn't allowing it to upload. My internet went really, really fast. So it was on YouTube, but then YouTube wasn't allowing it to go up. And then finally it did.
Wow. I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I'm not either. I'm like, no, we don't give up that easy.
No. So, you know, coming back to that energy of the past, we've got a different opportunity right now, not to make the mistakes like you were saying, April, not to, to learn from that shit and not to make mistakes again. So in my opinion, it should be free. In my opinion, everyone should choose whether they engage with something or not on their own. Like I say to everyone, it's your path. It's your path. Don't let someone dictate to you what the fuck to do. Like, sorry, I swore again.
You go for it. Tell it.
It's up to you what you do, and we need to be able to be open about this. And like, I don't care who thinks I'm crazy or not. I've been walking my path a while. Just a few decades. Like, it's fine. I will do what I do when I do it, but I'm not going to hold against someone that they believe differently or think differently. That's okay. But in my opinion, it should be free information. It should be engaging with everyone rather than separating us through beliefs and faith and all the rest of it, right? We should respect each other. That's what I think.
I think a majority would want that. Yeah. It's that few that pull to some that believe that we're too stupid to make our own decisions, and we can't have control of our lives. We can't do the right thing just because it's the right thing. We have to be told why it's the right thing and when to do the right thing. It should be given, and it's your choice. If you make the wrong decision, you have to live with that. It's not for me to live with, but then there's that play down of cause and effect and blah, blah, blah. And what happens to you happens to me, and, all that stuff. And it's like, it's too convoluted now.
Yep.
If you screw you, that's different, and you go rabbit hole again. Do no harm. If everybody just lived by do no harm, the witch thing, do no harm, take no shit, but do no harm, then the only people that would have a problem are the people that have a freaking problem.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then they can go over there and do their own damn thing. You know, like attracts like. You ain't gonna tell me twice. If I don't like what you're about, I'm not gonna hang out. You know.
And that's your choice, sweetheart. That's what the thing is. It's all about choice. Mm-hmm. When we're controlled, our choice is taken away. And I'm an advocate for choice. Like I can't. Pro-choice on all the fucking things. Like
all the things. Yeah.
You have the right to choose. I don't care what you choose because that's up to you. That's yours. I don't have to agree with it and I don't have to partake in it, but that doesn't mean I need to belittle you or degrade you or put you under a prison format because you don't agree with me or you know, all of that kind of stuff. It's freedom of choice. That's what's most important. Now we're in lockdown. I don't got a say in being in lockdown, but I have every say in what I do when I'm in lockdown. I'm in the garden. I'm creating more life. So it's how you react to things, not just the choices you make. It's your reaction too. So wholeheartedly, absolutely. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry. I'm just like watching my boys trying to lift a fence. Okay. They're just tiny.
At least they're still working.
Yeah, they're trying.
You know, we're in lockdown. What else are we going to do? I mean, I don't want to be sitting in front of the TV. I actually saw the notification go up again, so I pressed play while I was gardening, and then I'm like, you started the rabbit hole. Like you started the That's what happened.
So what other rabbit holes do you go down? Like what else usually, because you know we weren't prepared tonight. We started adding some stuff last minute.
Right. Well, how about, you know, we've just talked about extra dimensional beings. What about interdimensional beings? Have you guys ever talked about interdimensional beings? Not extra dimensional, interdimensional.
We're talking about that in the chat.
We're talking about spirit energy. We're talking about people who have crossed over. We're talking about entities that have been created. We're talking about, I'm going to say pseudo-demonic convergences. Yes. Not the rabbit hole.
No, that's perfect.
I just love how much fun April is having tonight.
I'm missing it. I'm going to watch it later on. I'm going to have to read it. I can't see anything.
Sorry.
I'm
going to mute for a second because he's right next to me.
Oh, okay. Okay, so speaking of interdimensional and you okay? Okay. Speaking of the dimensional beings, right? So okay, this is just me being me. Tequila's used to this. Okay. How do I say this without being really crazy? All right. Astral travel. But different times. Does that make, I don't know what that's called, but like where you with yourself and you go forward or backwards, not necessarily just in the present. What is the term?
Yeah.
What?
I call it soul journeying in the progressive, so forward momentum that hasn't occurred yet, and regressive. Like I take people through past life regressions and also future life progressions. I've been doing that and creating that over the last 16 years, where I take people through future. So I get what you're saying. That's what you're talking about, the time scale.
Yes. I firmly believe, because there have been, okay, so that plays into the time traveler mentality, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes. And you see pictures of people out of their time in places they shouldn't be. And I feel like those people are in a time frame that is future, way future, right? That has control of this energy that we've been talking about and is going back and manipulating certain events to their profit or whatever. Everybody thinks
that already in our globe as well. I truly believe that there has already been made lots of progress, because, you know, I love astrophysics, right? So I absolutely adore quantum physics, quantum mechanics. I'm that nerdy person. And ugh, mate, all the things that they're explaining now, they're explaining the things that we've been talking about for millennia, right? They're explaining science, right? And so I do believe they've already cracked it. I do believe they've already cracked it.
I do too.
Same.
Yeah.
And
I'm okay, Julie B. I was choking on a carrot.
okay, because all I saw was you go.
And I'm out of drink. My kid's watching. I'm watching. I'm dry.
I'm gonna go grab my coffee real quick, okay? Because I'm at 11:08. Well, it's 11:40 now, but
it's a carrot. It's not a cheap time. It's a carrot.
5 o'clock. It's past 5 o'clock on this side of the world.
Mm-hmm.
We have
okay.
So I'm gonna get my coffee.
Okay. Yeah. No. Cool.
It's cold over there.
Yeah. I wish. It's so stinking hot over here. Today was beautiful though. It's been overcast and like 70. So.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, no, because you're in Satan's asshole. So.
Yeah. We love it here.
I do love it when I visit though.
Oh, I can get the chat.
I'm parched.
You can see the chat.
So, speaking on time travel,
let's go. Let's go.
I feel like I don't even feel like I want to say that I know without knowing, because I think just as much as people can go forward and interact in that physical realm that they're going to, I also believe that there are people like me that have had the pleasure / misfortune of being able to do the same thing, but only as a witness. Does that make sense? Like, and I'm not saying I've witnessed anything like JFK assassination and I can tell you who did it, but like I've had very interactive dream state travels where I was there, but like I could watch myself still be in my bed, but I was also standing outside of a cottage that wasn't in my time and definitely not in my place. You know, I couldn't interact. I couldn't, you know how you try to talk to somebody in a dream, they can't hear you, they can't see you, but they're like, they know something's there.
But see, that's like when me and the family ended up dimension hopping and we ended up in the 70s. I don't know I swear he's brought that lawnmower by this window like 5 times. There's no more grass over here. No, the reason we knew because the cars changed, the clothing changed.
Mm-hmm.
You could see the difference. Like we knew we were somewhere in that time frame, like later 70s, because of the look of the cars and the clothes.
Yep.
And they saw us. It was weird because.
Mom, what refill do you want?
Oh, I'll take the Fire Jack and Big Red. You want that?
Oh, such a sweetheart.
I know.
Such a sweetheart.
That means they're watching us. Say hello to the children.
Hi.
Watching. Yeah, so like they knew though, because we passed this one particular street 3 or 4 different times, and they would like literally like everything was paused, even the trees were not moving.
Yep.
And look at us. When we were past, it got to a creepy level where I was like, okay, I have all my kids here. It's time for us to get out. Me and Junior accidentally pulled ourselves there.
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised because, okay, I'm going to get into a little bit of crazy. Let's get down a little bit more crazy.
I think we're done tap crazy. Let's go.
Yeah, that's who we are.
For the past, I don't know, 23, 24 years that I've been working my path and my practice, I have been privy to a whole bunch of dimensional shifts that, what the hell? Like you just go, what the hell was that? So for me, I've come to, in my old age, getting older, the realization that etherically, I know you guys know the construct of the ether, everything that is, was, and ever shall be. That's there, right? So that's this dimension, cross dimensions, interdimensional, everything. All that information is already there. All our futures, all our pasts, in every lifetime is already there. And that's what I've come to understand for myself. So when we're doing things like astral travel, right? Interdimensionally, either being in this timeline. So you guys, Tequila went through this timeline to the 70s, right? To the corporeal timeline. But it can be done, in my opinion, cross-dimensionally, and it's not just in physical corporeal reality, but also in energetic streams where you are, I don't know, have you ever had that feeling when you're falling in your dream? You know, that whole,
Yes. Yes.
You just,
Yes.
I truly believe that's landing back in our,
In your,
right?
right?
Yes.
yes.
Right. So if we've got information to everything that is, was, and ever shall be, and we don't know how to access it, people across the ages in our third dimensional construct have been called crazy, or they've been, locked up for being clairvoyant, for using their psychic talents, gifts, and abilities that, by the way, they didn't say it's 1/2 a freckle, I'm going to now do this. That just naturally comes
on them.
Mm-hmm.
And then there are, thankfully, in our freedom, I live in a Western world, so do you guys. Not, in third world countries, not so much do they have as many freedoms when it comes to this kind of spirituality. But we have techniques and tools and everything now, because we all have the talent and the gift. We just need to hone it a little more, some of us, right? And it can easily be done. I don't believe there are special people. We all have this talent. We all have this gift.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
It's like, I don't know. I'm sorry, I don't mean to preach. I just saw someone yes, preach, Chris. I don't mean to preach, and that's not what I'm
that's good thing. That's like them clapping. Yes, you're speaking what a witch knows to be.
Grass the whole time. I don't think he's going any other grass.
We know this much about the human brain.
Mm-hmm.
So that much, and we know exactly, and we know that there's written proof. There's proof, hieroglyphs. Like, we've interacted with other beings that in the mind frame of the way we are now and the way we're programmed. And I'm going to use that word on purpose. Programmed in this day and age cannot accept what was just normal and okay in certain time frames, because you were looked upon as not royalty, but special. You have harnessed a gift that benefited the people in your community. They came to you for advice. They came to you for healing. They came to you for everything. And now it's like you're a nut house. You're just a crazy person.
Another wormhole right now. I'm just shifting in my chair because you're opening up another wormhole, and I'm
because the chat is loving it. What's going on in here is just.
Oh yeah, I can see. Yeah. Look, there is something that you just said, April, that I love you to bits and pieces right now. Okay. So the energy of all of what we're allowed to do versus what we think we're capable of. Systematically across centuries, we've been slowly more and more repressed till we forget what our potency is. Can I just say, I have physical limitations, you have physical limitations, right? But the soul is fucking infinitely powerful. Infinitely powerful. And guess what? We all got one. And mine is not the same as yours. However, mine doesn't trump yours, it's infinite power, infinity each individual has, because in my opinion, ether. So the power and the potency of everything that is, was, and ever shall be is accessible to all of us. And yet, because we are in this third dimensional construct right now, I call it a flesh bag, right? In this flesh bag. So we're in this flesh bag, and we have the capacity of thought, which we only use, like you said, a small portion, which is 10% of our mind. We have limited potential to reach right now unless we step into consciousness. And so I have this theory, more conspiracy coming that, you know how we have our universe, we have our planet Earth, and we've got the sun, and around the sun we've got all our planets that actually rotate around the sun, and then we've got our galaxy, and our galaxy extends to other galaxies, and they have the same thing happening. And you know that hopefully in each individual atom that we're made of, it is the same pattern that occurs. I don't know if you guys know that
Yes.
if you atom, it is the same construct as the universe, as well as our solar system. My goodness, like it is a replica of one and the same. And so if you look at, I'm probably waffling, but if you look at this,
No, you're going to the God particle. You're going to the God particle. That's
Right.
where you're going.
so you look at this construct, and then you go, oh yeah, because we're the most powerful, potent thing in the universe. No, we have access. I mean, as a globe, each individual in every tiny fragment of them has the pattern of the universe. Like, come on. How can we feel as though we're inferior? How can we feel as though we are nothing?
Can I read something that Blue Knight said that goes with what you said? He says that we are taught to limit ourselves because we are the only ones who can limit us.
Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
Random
Random Witch is just, she is having a party over here. I think that we should ask Random Witch.
I'm missing it.
Yeah, like
I have not looked at this chat.
I'm having your mind is getting blown over here, and I'm over here listening and watching the chat because people are feeling it. They're digging it. There are some difference of opinions, but nobody's being disrespectful, and I love that. It's my favorite part about this community is all, doing our thing. But yeah, Random Witch, are you wanting to come in? Because she's talking to you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And like I'm watching her paragraphs, but they're going by so fast that I can't read the whole thing.
I'm going back now.
Absolutely. I would love, but this again, as I said, guys, I mean, this is what for myself I've come to understand myself, like for me. I'm not pushing my beliefs onto anyone or anything like that.
No, you're just sharing, and it's amazing. Yeah. It's amazing how many of us have the same outlooks on everything and the same, so many of us, and there's something to that. To that.
I got a theory. Okay, so
yes,
so we're witches, so we're already skirt the norm anyway. We're not accepted. We already think outside the box. So I think it's less of a hike for us to take that next step and start questioning not just the little things around us that are like, but everything. We are already open to that energy access point of acceptance of the things that most people consider strange and unusual. We already deal with that on a daily. So that's nothing to us. So add that extra layer of,
You just Beetlejuiced me. I myself am stranger than usual. Yep.
Exactly. We're already, I think, open a little bit more than I don't want to say the average person, because there's people that walk around average that aren't average at all. What?
Random would like the link. Random would like the link. I just didn't want to butt in. I'm sorry.
No. Let me do it. Let me do it. Here we go. Random, this is for you specifically. Once I figure out how to do it. Give me a minute. Okay, here it comes. Boom. My phone, of course, is blowing up. And it's nothing important. Oh, wait, hold on.
No, I've been telling Frankie to come on. Frankie is refusing to come on. Frankie!
Aw.
See, they want to hear your opinions, homie.
Absolutely.
I hear them telling you right now.
At the end of Random Witch, I want to talk about what Rowan wants to say.
What does Rowan want to say? He just told me about choking on my carrot. He's
Random. Oh, I gotta add. Okay. Hello.
Hi.
Oh.
Hi, darlings.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good. Wonderful. Oh my gosh.
Mike, so you sound the best.
Oh, thank you.
I couldn't read the chat.
Oh, I was just like so excited to hear what Crimson was talking about because me and my the witching engineer, my hubby, we talk about this stuff constantly because
Right.
he's always the scientific one and I'm always like the spiritual one, and then we have these conversations that just kind of mesh and then commingle and they spiral into like these chaotic, huge discussions, and like it drops down into this stuff you're talking about. And it was like when you were talking about the soul and the energy, and the thing is they did like a study on this. They did an experiment where they placed a person who was getting ready to die who like volunteered themselves, and they put them in this chamber, and they had so many scans and weighing like to the nth degree, and like as the person was dying, there was nothing that changed in the experimental space, but all the scans changed. So it was the proof that there was something that left, but nothing left that chamber.
Right.
Physically, but something did leave, and it changed the dial. And I'm like, yes, that just proves the point of you are an energetic being, like wrapped up in this meat suit, and like you're only here because you're kind of like, I don't know why, I can't even figure it out, but you're here and you're experiencing things. And I don't want to be like, switch it up, but like, I heard this one thing and it freaked me out. I didn't like it at all, but also I was like, man, if that's true, we're all in for a freaking ride.
Okay.
And it was basically somebody had this little story, right? And it was like this person had just died, and they went to the afterlife, and they went to a being. It didn't say God; it just said a being, like a deity. And they were like, I'm here, what happens next? And they were like, well, you get to go back. And they were like, I get to go back, why? And they go, you get to go back to learn more. Well, how many times do I have to do this? Until you have been everyone. Now, let me repeat that. Until you have been everyone. And then it clicks in this person that goes, wait a second, I've been everyone? And the deity says, yes, you have been everyone who's ever loved you, everyone who has ever hated you, everyone who has ever done a wrong, everyone who has ever done a right. You have been them. You are them. This is your journey. And then the person asked the deity, what happens after I'm done? And then the deity said, you become me.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy? It's a theory, though. Okay, I got a theory.
Sorry, Wait,
No.
I know that has like nothing to do with it, but it tripped me out so bad. I was
It
like,
does.
what?
What are you talking about? Absolutely.
That's an everything thing. Like,
I'm getting redder and redder because I'm drinking. This is what happens. I get so red when I'm drinking.
I'm sorry.
my
coffee.
ears are a little warm.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So I've never had an experience that I know of. I've never had an experience such as that. But I've always, me and my mother, whom if she's still in here somewhere, we talk about this all the time. Is that same thing kind of? You don't go one place or the other, like not every, like some people believe. But I feel like the suffering that you do in this life leads you to the next level of the next life, and to the next level, and to the next level, until you have learned and experienced kind of what you're saying, all aspects of sympathy and empathy. Like you have been in everybody's shoes to experience the loss, grief, love, acceptance, all the challenges and the heartbreaks. Like you have to deal with all those aspects, and however it's graded, before you get to be these people that we see that are just happy-go-lucky and everything's cool. They don't suffer, or they don't seem to, like, our perception is they never seem to have a hard time. Everything just works out. They always have plenty of money. They always have access to cool things. Like the person that is the A-lister of life, right? I feel like it's steps, and whatever that perception of what you perceive as perfection or cool is the steps you're going to take to get there. Because we all don't have the same perception of perfection. it's different for all of us, you know? So but that played into what you were talking about of being a little bit of everybody or being everybody, because you can't understand anything until you experience everything.
Yeah.
Well,
It's crazy. It's so hard to wrap your mind around. And when I first like heard it, I knee jerk reacted away from it. I was like, I don't like that at all. I was like, don't say that. I don't like it.
It's interesting. Because again, I can understand of both what you've said. The thing for me is I don't see levels. I don't, because we have the way I feel about things, we already have access to everything. It's perspective, absolutely. Shifting your own perspective to recognize all the things, people, right? That will absolutely bring the experiences that you choose then, rather than being a passenger in your own experience, you become the person driving the train or the boat, soul, or the whatever, like insert, right? So I understand that because we're taught in such a hierarchical system throughout centuries and millennia. Well, you have to do this in order to reach this, and then you have to do that in order to reach that, and you have to be approved by this person and validated by that person, and blah 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 blah. And I'm like, well, fuck that, because because why? Because why? Like,
It goes back to
I can tell you how I feel and who I am according to me, but I can't tell you who you are, and nor should I ever do that, because the minute someone tries to impose their opinion on you is the minute they say, okay, tell me, how am I? Who am I? That's the moment we choose to give that power away to someone else, to be subservient to someone else's energy. In my opinion, sorry, like that's just the thing.
That's why we're here. Everybody's got different opinions, and everybody's perspective on, especially when it comes to death, is going to be totally different. And it goes back to like what you've been surrounded by, what you're influenced by, open, not open, whatever. I mean, shoot, somebody could think they're going to turn into a shotgun in 5 minutes. We don't know.
Yeah.
Everybody's stuff is different.
What Noah said?
No, I did not read.
What happened?
I thought that was pretty good too. Let's see. It's somewhere about us having to live through each of the signs. Like, it's not the fact that I might have been a Scorpio in a past life makes my whole body get like, no, please.
Oh, there it is.
I figured it out.
You did a thing. I'm so proud of you.
Apparently, I can do more things when I'm drunk.
That's so interesting.
That's an interesting concept.
Yeah.
That's an interesting concept. I mean, I teach my students how to actually be any zodiac sign they want by bringing in that energy. So I still stand by. You can be
some of the signs.
So
who might wants to come in?
Okay. Can I ask a question of you ladies?
Sure.
Have you ever had a personal experience with someone that you were close to passing? I mean, I was by my mum's bedside just as she was leaving her body. Have you ever been that close to someone passing?
Yeah, I was the only one there when my dad took his last breath.
I know you know. I know you know.
I can't say I've been that close to death on a personal level. I've been there right before and I've come in after, but I have not been there during, to my knowledge.
I used to help my mother work at a veterinarian's office, and I was the person that would go in and hold the animals as they passed.
Okay, I was going to say, if we're talking about like any life, yes.
Any life.
It was literally like the person, like, because for some reason there wasn't that person. I don't know why, but there wasn't that person to comfort them when their owners weren't there and they were passing. So they would bring me in, and I would be there with them, and as they left.
It's hard. Like I've been on both ends of that situation. I've had to not be there, and then there with Bob, I had to be there, and both are devastating. And I can understand. I know how it's hard to understand, but like I get it. Like that was horrible.
Oh my God, Sunshine, I'm so sorry.
Oh yeah.
I was kind of hoping you weren't watching with this question.
Yeah.
But
Same.
I'm absolutely this energy, can I just say, because I opened up the question and there's a reason for that. This energy that we're talking about, can you tell me that you who have actually spent time with someone who has, or a life that's crossed over, have you felt that it's terrifying, or have you felt that peace and beauty that occurs?
Peace.
It was sadness on my part. It was peace on the other. Yeah.
For us as individuals, absolutely. We're feeling a thing. But I'm talking about the energy that we are in proximity to, right?
Yeah.
Because I think there's a misconception across the board that when someone passes, that it is, horrible and terrifying. And yes, for us, it is because of the loss we feel. But that's why I put up the question. Have you felt anything less than peace and beauty in that moment from the energy?
Let me tell you, because my father's body, the body, was gasping for air. That would have terrified my brother had he been there to see that.
Yeah. Yep.
Because he wasn't seeing the overall view. Because his spirit, his soul was at peace. The body was gasping, and that terrified him. If he would have felt what was actually happening, it wouldn't have terrified him or made him feel any other way, I think.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I was with my mother, just like you were with your father, Tequila, with my mother when she passed. And I want to speak about the body for a second, because you just touched on that. The body does things, right?
Yeah.
But the moment for me that I knew that, it was the transition had occurred was not when the body stopped, but she was hot and then she was no longer hot. She was cold. I stayed there for about 2 hours, even after they had clinically decreed that she had passed. And I was speaking to her the whole time. And I knew that she had gone into spirit when her body went cold. And that's an interesting thing, because it's a physicality that gave me an indicator. Does that make any sense? But that doesn't mean it's necessarily the thing for everyone.
Yeah.
And so that's why I opened up the question, how have you experienced this, even with loved ones? Hi, sweetheart, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I did. Okay. I have to go back on what I said before. When I was young, I was about 16. I was very close, not to the person, but to the actual crash that took the person. I'd never met them in my life, but I was like literally 12 feet away from it when it happened. And then I had literally, since it was so fast, this is the only experience that I've had with this. Since it happened so fast, I then spent the next 4 hours, number one, explaining to the spirit what happened. Number two, trying to help them get into a place where they could get in and out, because they thought that they were still there, because it happened so fast.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you all have ever experienced anything like that before.
Definitely.
But I was 16 and I spent 4 hours just mediating for the spirit.
They literally don't get it. It's like they know something happened, but it doesn't register. It's not, even though they're looking at where they just came from, it's not registering that that's them.
What's really hard is babies. Me and Raven and Bear came across the baby. We all heard crying, and we were looking, and the baby was literally crawling in the cemetery. And you can't make a baby understand, you know, and it was really difficult for all of us. I remember Bear actually got very rageful at that particular cemetery when we were at Raven's husband about their stuff, and it was very that was rough because you don't really know what to do with that child whenever they don't understand. Trina just wanted to tell you, Crimson, thank you that she needed to hear that today.
I love you, sweetheart. I love you. Yeah.
Got chills.
I know. I mean, we came in here for a Cauldron of Conspiracies. Now we've hit this rabbit hole. It all ties in. I mean, it's all energy, right? It's all just expand this out even further. But I think a lot of people need to hear this. I think a lot of people need to hear this because opening up this spectrum, the conspiracy also is that death is finite. That's a conspiracy the world holds, that death's the end.
Oh my gosh, yes. Oh.
And let's talk about that conspiracy because I don't believe that. And I've seen, and I'm sure many of you have also seen, either in spirit form, through travel, through all the things, that it ain't the end.
No, it's not. It's the start of something else.
Oh, Black Bex just said they had the opposite reaction when they witnessed a car crash. The person relaxed and they were at peace and they were happy almost immediately. So it could all be very different.
Absolutely.
You know? What I will say, I think I have two things to say about what you just said, Crimson, because I love it, number one. And number two, scientifically, we have figured this one out. Just this one thing about energy. It can't be created. It can't be destroyed. It can just be converted, moved, stuff like that. Yeah. So what we have to understand is all this stuff inside of us making us move and talk and have dreams and thoughts and a personality and a heart and a love and a hate and a rage and a peace. That's a thing that's happening from energy. That is a thing that's happening not from this meat sack that we're in. It's in us. We are of it. We are piloting. That's what we're doing. And number two, my conspiracy theory that I thought up one night and I just couldn't let it go was reincarnation is not just worldwide, it's universe-wide.
Yes.
Because, and here's the huge spiral that I went down on when this happened. I saw the planet Earth, and then I saw a whole bunch of planets that were Goldilocks. They were, you know, just right they were habitable, which means they have life in them, which means what happens as a star, as a planet, as a celestial being lives and then dies. Because guess what? Everything is in a cycle, even the universe, even celestial bodies. Stars die, planets die. This is something that happens. Yes. So not only is a planet experiencing a cycle, a life is experiencing a cycle, other planets are also experiencing this cycle at the same time. And what is happening is you have like a pendulum effect. One, let's say we have planet number 1 and planet number 2. Planet number 1 is just starting to grow and get more souls and more souls and more souls and more souls, while the other planet is dying, leaving souls, leaving souls, leaving souls, leaving souls. And where are they going? To the other planets. It is a huge cycle.
The infinity loop.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. I can't wait to just say a thing.
Go ahead. That's it. That was the thing. I was like, not only are we reincarnated into this planet, we're going to other planets.
Okay. So I'm going to spin this a little bit. Ready? I believe we exist multidimensionally simultaneously. So not that we have a finite number of souls going across from one planet to another, but that we are coexisting with ourselves in a different soul format concurrently. And I've seen some evidence through my workings and through people I've helped to support that, and I'm writing about it. But I want to know what you guys think about that. Have you ever opened up that rabbit hole?
I feel like tequila has.
Not to that deep of a hole. No, I do feel like I have run into myself multiple times. Well, actually, I know I have.
I know I have been in the same area as myself because I've had people say, I just saw you at so-and-so. And I was like, oh, no, I get that all the time because I do. I get that all the time, but not after I moved from that place. So I believe my other self, or at least one of them, is still there, tooling around.
Yeah, I've seen myself, and we've made eye contact, and she ran away. Kind of like a shit effect.
And now let's bring a bit of craft into it, right? So do we all do protection magic?
Yes.
Yes.
I would assume that most of us
Absolutely.
do, even a little bit of protection magic. Have you ever extended it to every form of existence that you either currently, prior to, or future will project to?
No.
No.
Give it a go.
I have not.
Now.
Look.
Okay. I have a question.
Wow.
Because that makes things are clicking right now.
Yes, exactly. I'm like,
things are just like clicking into place, and it's crazy.
Well, I want to say this real quick before we get your clicks into place.
Yeah.
The thing that Sunshine said in the chat, I want so badly to beg him to stay with me. I'm gonna cry. Stay with me in spirit, but I fear I would prevent him from his next life. Thoughts?
Oh, it's on the screen.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yes.
I didn't want to lose it.
We didn't want to lose it.
So I don't know if you guys have read into the amount of time for like reincarnation, but I read somewhere that on average, a person will take about 9 years. A soul will take about 9 years. But I also believe, and this is something that I kind of wanted to jump in on, just kind of covering a little bit more that was being covered in the past. Random and I had a live like years and years and years and years ago where we were discussing reincarnation and the theory of experiencing everybody, everything. And we even discussed some of the stuff about like experiencing being the bad person, like on that negative aspect, that low vibration aspect of life. But what I want to add into that is I personally feel like, at least from what I've experienced, is it's all a choice. So on average, if we look at that theory of 9 years being the average amount of time that an average person would reincarnate, that's only specific people. So like Alex, I feel like could, if we were to die, we could say, I don't feel like going just yet. I have somebody I have to wait for. And I don't feel like it would hinder anything because I feel like there's like a natural give and take to decisions, like a natural law, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
Can I have a little moment of like harsh truth? Just harsh truth. What do you think happens when you ask your ancestors to be with you and to guide you and to protect you, honey? Do you think that's doing the same thing?
You're not entrapping anyone.
You're not making anybody do anything. They are there for you because they love you and because they will always love you. They're not loving your body. They're loving your soul. And guess what? Your souls are interconnected in a way that will never let go.
All of us. All of us.
If you've ever done anything with ancestors, do you feel guilty? No. Why? Because you know they're there for you. And that's all I gotta say.
Let's also think about, so we were talking, you guys were discussing multiple selves, right? So let's take it a little bit of a step further. So a lot of, I believe it's called theoretical Satanism. Luciferianism believes that we are the gods, right? And a lot of witches, I find, do believe that we are gods in and of ourselves, or the goddess, or a god, or whatever is part of us. So let's look at some gods like Kate, or the Morrigan, or some of these multifaceted, multi-faced gods or goddesses, and then let's look at ourselves. So who's to say that there's not multi-faces to our souls? There's not more than just one aspect of ourselves that could either move on, but then part of us could stay and wait behind, work with our future generations or what have you. I mean, there's so many different directions we could go with that.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And just on that point, because I love you to bits and pieces, and you know I'm coming and we're playing on the beach. Right. So this energy is beyond what, because, you know, we talk about deity. I bow down to no deity. I'm not the grand poobah of anyone. I'm not a high priestess. I'm not a god. Right. That's my belief for myself. However, does that mean that I do not engage with energy that is bigger than myself? Of course I do, as we all do. Now, do I allow that energy to overlord me? No, I don't, because like you said, I do believe that there are aspects that we see in mirroring energy. You cannot create or destroy, as Random put before. So it's not, you can't destroy it and you can't create it. So it's all in transmutation and in experience. So if you want to experience that energy of feeling I'm everything, just do it. Just choose it.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you want to experience the energy of I feel like fucking crap right now, just do it. And it's all valid, and it all is important to us as a being. The shadows, the light, the ups, the downs, the sideways, the upside down, whatever. It's all important if you choose it. Do you have to choose it? Some of us spend our whole lives avoiding certain things, right? i.e. the fear factors. Oh my God, I can't do that because I will die, or I can't do that because they might think this way, or whatever. That's a choice. You're choosing that. So this energy that you're speaking about is absolutely, are you God? That's up to you. I don't believe someone just is if they don't choose to be, but I choose not to be. Right? I just choose to be me. That's all. Right?
I am me in tired goddess form. I'm throwing this out there because I'm in my hopeless romantic phase, which most of the time I don't sit in that phase at all. But lovers find lovers and lovers stay lovers forever. That's how I would love to feel. And that's what I want for you. So there. That's what I said. Very simple. Just
you absolutely, you know, I have to come back to this because it's very important for me to both Sunshine and Alex, from my perspective, to just say, I see my mother every day, right? I am not calling on her. She comes to me. And so she's not trapped in this corporeal realm by any means. It is not her physicality that is here. It is her spirit whenever she chooses. And in the construct of my belief, because I do believe we cross-dimensionally exist, I truly believe that she's also somewhere else living her best life.
See, I had to, and this might come off cross harsh, but everybody mourns and they do in their own way. I had to ask my father not to come around. I could not heal. Like, ooh, this is a hard one. I could not heal with him coming around and always checking on me and asking him to leave. Like, being forced to accept that he was going to leave when he had his heart failure was one thing, but then actually asking him to leave because I could not heal with constantly seeing him was so hard. But it me moving on, and like I know he's still watching over and everything, but he doesn't communicate with me, and I need that. And it's been 8 years. It's been 8 years, but I still need that because I can't.
You know that. You know of yourself that you need that. And you made that choice because you do honor yourself as well, right? And that's important because it's not just like willy-nilly that you just go, hey, everyone who's passed over, come visit me, especially if there's such a stringent bond. And I assume you and your father were best friends like my mother and I were best friends.
Yeah.
Very close, right?
I didn't gripe about my mom. Like he was like just he was everything. He did a lot of things in life that was shitty, but he was such a good father. Mm-hmm. And he was that father he didn't have to be. You know, he wasn't my birth father. He was my daddy though. Yeah. And he was just all the things.
All the things. But you, sweetheart, knew and you chose to do you. And that is I'm an advocate for that. I will be on rooftops with banners about that shit. Yeah. You got to do you first. How the hell are you supposed to do anything else or be there and live if you don't be honest with yourself that's hard. Everyone's going to say, well, why did you do that? Why? Because you needed it and you need it still. And mayhap one day you won't. Mayhap one day you'll say, all right, dude, I'm ready now. Let's laugh a little, whatever it is. But right now is not that time, and that's okay. Oh, my God, I love you. Like, I can't. What happened? What's her name?
Oh, there I am.
Hello.
I didn't see you. You were at the very bottom.
Usually, yeah.
Thank you, Rowan.
Get up.
You know what? My daddy would have loved that joke.
I know. That's probably why you talk to me.
And you're the only one he's ever talked to because I've asked him not to come around. Anyways, okay. We're moving on from that.
It's a subject that everybody deals with differently. And, it does need to come up because people are scared to talk about it and they don't know what to do with it when it happens. They don't know, in the planning stages when it's, gonna happen. Like it needs to be discussed because people don't talk about it enough because it hurts. It's painful. It's hard to deal with, but it happens. We need to deal with it. You know what I mean? And some people deal with it better. Like I had to take a week off work when my dog died. I can't. You know what I mean? Like I'm that person. I'm overly emotional. But then if it's you catch me on the right day and it's like, well, it just depends.
Or the right amount of tequila.
I'm out.
You're out? That's all you have?
Coffee, I'm sorry.
Random, what do you have over there? What was that?
I'm doing keto right now, and this has 1 carb in it. So
Mike's Hard Lemonade.
This is Mike's Hard Lemonade Seltzer.
Roland was talking about that about 6:00 today. He was just talking about that.
Yeah. It's got friggin' 1 carb a can. Bitch, yes.
Wait, is that
give that to me?
Is that the regular kind or is that like a low carb version?
It's the seltzer.
I've never had.
Yeah, but it'll still have a fun effect.
I've been drinking the Budweiser seltzers actually.
Somebody called it the Witches Hollywood Squares.
Oh my god.
That's right. That's right.
The drinking edition.
Everybody here has a channel that they're actively on except me.
Okay, well, that's a choice. Go back to the choice talk. Like that was your choice. Plenty of content.
I only just came back. I mean, come on now.
Rowan, did you just make a decision to change that, right?
Maybe later. We'll talk about it another time.
Sometimes we gotta take a break. I think some of us here have done it. At least the top 3 have.
I know I have. I just here.
It's crazy.
I think we all take breaks whether we plan them or not.
Life happens.
Yeah.
Sure does.
But I mean, recently, listen, Rowan, and I'm gonna say this. Listen, it really felt and still feels like something opened up energetically and like something locked into place. So grab a hold of that energy and just ride it into the sunset. You know what I mean? Just go. Just go.
Do y'all see the comment Trina just left?
Huh?
Oh my gosh.
What a
Really?
amazing community we have. I just,
This is what everybody did. This is what all of y'all did. This right here. This right here.
I didn't. Oh, wow.
It's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing. There's not another word for it.
Y'all are gonna start making me cry, and I'm trying real hard.
Stop.
That's
Stop it.
That's why.
I mean, look, we took care of somebody that is going through the hardest part of their life right now.
Yeah.
Next to losing a parent or a child, in my opinion. It's a life partner, you know, so now you don't have to worry about anything other than the stuff that you have to worry about. You don't have to worry about it. And this whole community came together to make sure that happened.
And you know, and they have so many times. Like, it may not be on like auctions or whatever, but you see the people doing, you know, whether it be a GoFundMe or just a fundraiser, because I'm a part of all of them. You may not see my name up there, but my money's there. You know, I'm always helping any way I can. If you want me to donate my time, my products, my money, anything that gets sent to me, I'm a part of it. And not everybody can donate items, time, or money, but energy. You know, so we all do our part. It happens over. I know Trina's situation kind of hit harder because of the whole situation and how fast it happened. It was really bad. I also feel like it also brought the community back to life.
Yep.
yes.
Yep. It gave us a common goal to focus our energy on, and this is what we can accomplish when we focus our energy.
Yeah.
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 I mean, that's like 10,000. Like that's 10,000 more than I was even thinking we were going to get.
Oh, I knew we were going to get what we needed. I just didn't know we were going to get enough to make it. Like she said, she was going to do the bare minimum for him because that's all she was focused on getting. And now she's going to be able to do what she wanted to do for him. And that is because of everybody here. Everybody here and people who aren't here right now.
Yep. I mean, we have people donating from other communities that aren't even in the witch community, but they were supporting their friends in the community, which broadens it so much more.
Yeah.
I just can't. Like,
it's not about witches. We're humans.
Yeah.
We're humans. And this is a human experience. Like I know we practice, guys. Like I know that, and I know we have a beautiful community but this is humanity. I fucking love it. Like I love that this is a thing. Like I'm generally not the person who will go, pay attention to me, although sometimes. But I'm like, I don't care. I'll open up my books. I'll do whatever it takes because this is life. Yeah. This is life. And we've got to be there for each other, as not just as a community, but as humans. Like when somebody
they felt Alex felt that day. The little bit of time Alex did get to spend watching, he felt the energy coming from everything. I was telling April and Monique and Bex that when we finished, I felt drunk and I had no alcohol. The next day, I felt hungover in the morning. There was such an amazing amount of energy, and I wasn't shielding none of it.
No,
we were just taking it all in, and I felt
I was energized.
It was just I felt like I needed to go and like party dance or something. And I felt drunk.
It was amazing.
It was amazing.
If we could
it was an inspiration of love. It really felt like a blooming of love across an entire community, because it was like something had inspired all of the people that we literally have been in this community for years and years and years. And there's been important moments that we've all seen and watched and observed and experienced And this felt like one of the big ones that you're going to remember this. You can't not, because it was a moment of love.
Yes. Yes.
Exactly. And it was all about love. It was all about sharing that, one way or the other. And that was, it doesn't get done enough, I wish we were I wish we could do this when it was needed all the time. Not just in the community, but just in life in general, but that's just not the way it happens. People get selfish and stuck in their own heads about stuff, and they don't want to communicate what they need or accept it. That's another thing. Pride gets in the way of a lot of stuff, Anyway.
Like, my favorite question in the universe is why, though?
I want to communicate what they need. Or accept it. I have no idea. I don't know.
We're getting into that vibration now,
Yeah.
Are we still taking donations?
Yeah, I just put the link in the description box, but I think there's a lag on my end. There it is. It's there. I just put it in there.
It's still open, right? The link. People can still donate, right? Because maybe some people missed.
Yeah, true. I just posted the link right here for her PayPal and her Venmo.
Amazing.
We're going on an hour and 37 minutes.
Oh, I need to build a fence. Okay.
Oh God, I love you.
This was a good rest. It was a good rest.
Oh man.
I how this turned out.
Come here.
I dig our first episode. I really do. Oh, hey, cutie.
I'm gonna come help in a minute, okay? I promise.
I'm gonna let your mom come in just a minute.
I came in on the last leg, so.
Did you want to add something before we head out?
Oh, wait. Let me get back to the text message.
Okay, there you go.
Okay.
It's a freaking 2 paragraphs. Okay. Okay, so there was a story in my mind about what if the government is using Area 51 to suck out all the energy of the planet to keep people weak. We always hear myths about people who can conjure more potent magics and move things with their mind. That's called telekinesis.
Yeah.
And and what if all that's Wait, what did you say? What if all of that is possible, but Area 51 just sucks too much energy? We can't harness much anymore. I think I get what you're trying to say, but it was like, you can't read it out loud.
Like a siphon.
Yes, like they're siphoning off our energy slowly, so we can't function to the proper amount that we should be able to. I get what you're saying.
What are they using that for?
That's the question. What are they using it for?
All those time travelers we keep seeing.
Yeah. Okay.
And okay.
Are they sucking the energy?
What?
Are they sucking the energy? I'm sorry, Alexa, shut up.
They're listening to you.
You see that?
Yeah. No, look, one night, you know how you have to say Alexa and then she speaks to you, right? One night I was walking by her and I was just being a smart ass. I was like, good night. That bitch said good night. Alexa, you're not supposed to talk.
But my question is, how many drinks have you had that night?
I don't think I had any, honestly. My bar wasn't built yet. So
Okay, no drinks. What else though?
Rowan.
Well, I mean, to Rowan's question, like, as practitioners, shit has happened around us. I mean, we can all admit we've seen some things, we've experienced some things.
Oh,
literally
covered it all. Oh my god.
there's reasons why we're practitioners and like have been for years and years and years, because there's been that aha moment. There's been that oh shit moment. Sorry for cursing. But like there's definitely also, I'm gonna tack on to this. Years ago, like, I like where you're going, Rowan, but I also want to tack on this. I personally experienced like I was in like I was absolutely certain I was in like astral, but I was in that moment of sleep, right? And I came upon a group of practitioners, and they were all in uniforms, and they were gathering up children's spirits and trying to take them to a location to use as like a power source. And I immediately ripped out of there, got as many of my friends as I could, and immediately just started trying to stop it, trying to get those spirits where they needed to be, away from those people. And I never saw them again. I've never seen them in the astral. I've never experienced or heard of anybody like that. But like it was a thing that was happening. So I personally think there's a lot of shit that goes down that we don't see as a populace, I will say. They're in the government, there is a line that says a person is smart, people are dumb.
Dude. This is gonna have to be on next week's episode or whatever the next episode is. But I want to touch on that same topic and put in Epstein or Epstein.
Oh,
Do we need to make a note?
Yes,
I'm gonna remember.
I need a secretary. Somebody make a note because I can't spell it.
I'm not used to being a secretary, but I'll do it today.
Thank you.
Sorry, I didn't take shorthand. I don't think they teach that shit anymore.
They probably don't. It's called
Rowan actually popped up there because are they actually siphoning the power? They can't. There are too many energies in our ley lines across the globe that they have no access to and don't even know how to figure out that they're there just yet, right? Yeah. So nothing's being lost, but they are harnessing what they have found, i.e. Area 51, this is my opinion just, to imprison the extra dimensional energies that have found themselves stranded here. So it's like grabbing all the intel, and I don't mean that just extra dimensional beings. I believe there are human beings that have also been taken and locked down, if you will, in that space.
Kind of like a fly trap.
Yes.
Like people put fly traps in their house, but there's many flies in the entire world. So whatever comes close, they hit it. I see what you mean. Yeah.
Right.
So did y'all ever remember the movie? Okay. Minority Report?
Oh, yes.
That where they had the clairs, as in clairvoyant, clair audio, clair this, clair that. They were hooked up to the little thingies, and they were there to predict events before they happen. So that, but in like warehouse size, to do some of the higher level astral, like interdimensional, because it's not super easy to do that. It takes a lot of energy, takes a lot of know-how, takes a lot of focus to be able to shift between different times and remain focused and collect what you see and be able to jot it down. I believe that people can pass through really quick, but to be able to stay and interact or stay and watch, that takes a different kind of energy. So I feel like there are some places where there are high rates of missing people, missing children.
Oh, yes.
There's like detainment centers that are just like probing, and I mean that literally, probing these people to direct and learn how to focus that energy that they just naturally, because they haven't been told not to, can use. I know that got deep again. I'm sorry.
Well, I don't know if you all saw the comment that I had posted earlier, But I have heard recently, now I don't astral on purpose.
Mhm.
I'm very much a homie crab. I stay in my shell. But I've heard of some people who do astral and are well practiced in it. They're saying that nobody's astral to Area 51 or any of these other types of locations because they're protected.
Mhm.
It's like they get there and it's like, oh, there's a barrier. They can't get through it.
But who would put that barrier up? How would they put that barrier up? I'm just saying.
They're hiring witches.
You used to
Listen.
eyes.
Listen,
You know I'm crazy about this, right? You know that this is the rabbit hole that got me here in the first place today. So, I have personally tried, and have not been able to do it.
Wow.
I'm just saying.
listen.
There's a warehouse underground.
I'm sorry. I've done a lot of crazy shit. I would never. I totally believe that the government has literal practitioners that have been doing some crazy ass shit before we can remember. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before we can remember. There's a word we're not saying on here, and everybody knows that we're not saying it, but you know what the fuck I'm talking about.
What word?
I don't.
Word. I know the word.
Come on. It starts with an I.
Confetti?
It starts with an I. Come on.
Yeah. I get invites every other week.
Oh.
Instagram, they be hitting my DMs. They like, you want to
Oh,
be rich and rule the world? And I'm like, girl, yes.
Why don't I get any messages? I get no DMs.
Girl, I'll send them your way next time.
Yeah. You gotta be in the club. You do the hair flip. You gotta be in the club.
Every other week. And I'm like, I thought this was
I don't know how.
I thought this was a secret. I didn't know you guys just like recruit people.
I be getting DMs too, but it's never those people. It's always like busty. It's always like busty blonde 24 or some shit like that.
We gotta find out if it's the same people hitting you up. Are they in the black robes with the gold trim and the little staff things? Because they told me that's the Brotherhood of the Illuminati.
Now, see, one time, at least one time, I went down that hole because I was like, okay, I'm curious. So I was like, what do I gotta do? Like, and he was like, oh, nothing.
Frankie, if you'll come and tell us what we got to do for Illuminati Confirm.
Yeah, it was just like, oh, nothing. You just have to get this book and read this book. And I was like, okay.
It's a book.
Okay. And he's like, yeah, so you get the book, you read the book, and then after you read the book, you are appointed or voted in, and then you have to get the tools. And I was like, well, I'm poor. How much is all this? And when he was like, there were some ridiculous prices, and I was like, I don't know if I want to pay that much for a book.
If they ask you to Western Union it, don't trust it.
Right.
I firmly believe that book because the guy I talked to, I'm assuming it was a dude. It looked like a dude. I had a face of a dude. He told me that the book was like in my. Okay, so here's another theory because he gave me a different price range than you probably. It was in my price range, and I almost like I was like, ooh, I'm so curious. But then I had a nugget. But this is why we're smarter because I had a nugget, that little nugget, that stupid bitch that tells me not to do crazy shit in the back of my head. She was like, girl, that book could be full of an incantation. And the minute you read that shit, that sucked in, disappear, gone, and I was like, okay, Nugget. All right, Nugget, I'm going to not do this.
Yeah.
I like how you call her Nugget. Like, does she come with fries and a shake?
We're going to get into my
chicken named Sylvia, so Nugget is cool.
Nugget, look, I'm Nugget.
Get off my shit. Get off my shit. Leave me alone.
Let's go.
Nugget said, fuck it.
My name's Nugget, and I said, fuck it.
So can I know it's running late, but there's just, so I had a thing that I was going to write down.
There's no time on alcohol.
Now that we brought up the Illuminati.
Oh, dear.
Right? So now that we brought that up. So a lot of people who watch my videos and just follow me on social media know that I'm completely obsessed with owls. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So specifically, the barn owl, but there's a reason for that. So,
Out of all the owls, you picked that one.
so listen, she's come to me
Okay.
in dreams and in person. But there was one dream, like some of the dreams are just like, ooh, this is like really like witchy and nice, like of an owl coming and landing on your shoulder. And it's just a nice, lovely dream, you
Until
know?
it shits on your shoulder, but yeah.
Well, it didn't. But there was one dream
Damn.
in particular that had me kind of like, this is weird. And it was, I'd say probably about a year or two ago. And I had a dream that I was taken by these barn owl people. Barn owl people.
They have legs.
They have legs.
Yes, and they were very tall and big, and one of them told me something along the lines of, like, they just told me everything. We are a race that lives side by side. Like, it was very much lizard people.
Mm-hmm.
Very much lizard people.
Animorphs.
But owls, right?
Damn it, Rowan.
But hold on. Listen.
Sorry.
So I'm curious when I wake up. I'm like, that's a really weird dream. That could be a book. You know, that's what I was thinking. I could be an author. I could be the next Stephanie Meyer, you know, romance between people, you know. I'm thinking, let's do this. So I start diving in, and the first thing you find, and I actually brought it up before I came on, but the first thing I found was Bohemian Grove, which I don't know if you guys have heard about that, but there is a grove in California where they worship an owl icon. And it's very much a secret society, very similar to the Illuminati. A lot of higher up, ritzy people. Mm-hmm. So I'm also at the same time reading one of, I don't know if you guys know about Devin Hunter, but I'm reading the third book, I believe it was, or the second or third book at the time, in his The Witch's Book of Power series.
I think I know of Devin.
And you probably do.
Yeah.
And not like that. Okay, probably. Anyway, but he mentioned, so his familiar is I can't read it.
I'm just pulling up the thing about the thing.
Oh, the thing, yeah, the Bohemian Grove. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm seeing two Aprils right now, so.
He mentions in one of his books, I believe it was the second one, The Witch's Book of Spirits, where he has a very close relationship with a familiar spirit who also appears to him in the shape of an owl. And he goes on to explain that he started doing research before he started. I believe this is how the story went. It's been a while since I read all this. This is why I said I needed notes. But he said he started doing research on this entity that came to him. And the name that the entity gave him is a similar name as to the cult that was doing all those mass murders in California.
Which one?
The one, oh gosh, the one that I believe it's the same one that movie, that girl, oh gosh, with the psychic woman and her husband, and they're kind of crazy, kooky. I don't like them personally.
Is this the one that the girl escaped, but he cut off her arm?
No, Annabelle.
Oh,
yeah.
Right. I'm gonna look it up because
I can't remember this club. I know what you're talking about.
Yes,
I'm gonna look it up.
Also, supposedly worshipped or had something to do with owl iconography, and the owl that they were invested into happened to be the same name, or it was like one syllable off or something as the entity that came to him. And he's like, but you're not. And this entity was like, no. And he explained, there's actually a lot of us, a lot of our particular type of spirits.
Are they considered demonic?
Well,
this
and
realm?
he said, and he told Devin something along the line. Now, again, people don't quote me, okay?
Right.
I got the name.
But something.
Roland's got the name.
The lines of there's a lot of us, and our main priority is to come in contact and just give you whatever message you're supposed to receive. So what if this is another example of like all these other religions, just as a small example, a pinpointed example of all these other religions and all these other cultures in the past that have been contacted by these things and have misconstrued it.
But that could be said for just about everything then.
Right.
I mean, that could go like.
No, I was just using the owl because that was just me.
Oh, right. But like, could you imagine if so much stuff is like how assholey we would feel sometimes about the person going back in time? You just want to slap them and be like, how did you fuck that up? Clearly that's not what he said.
Right. But yeah, and also with the demon stuff, so I hold a theory of frequencies, but not so much levels. So
okay.
I believe in what people think or would say are demons, but demon is really just it's a messed up term, right? It came from Latin and it was supposed to mean something completely different than what it means now.
Totally screwy, yeah.
Yeah. So demons, or what I would just say are low vibrational things that choose to, and to some extent to be low vibrational, like at least the ones that can, interact with us.
Yeah.
Anyway, but there are demons in the Catholic or Christian faith, or in a demonology book. There was at least one that I came across, or two, but they're called night ravens. But there's ones, I think his name is
Stolas, yeah.
Stolas.
Yeah.
And he comes in a weird shape too, from what I read. That was like, oh, my dream. But yeah. Interesting stuff.
I'm itching at the bit now.
It's a lot. I know. This is why I needed notes.
This is why we needed this channel.
There was a comment, and I think it's Alahawa.
Yes.
I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. I really apologize.
His voice.
The Diana cult of, times gone by, spoke about the owl people quite readily. There are whole bunches of references to the owl people across different. Have you found it? Yes.
Yeah.
Across different pantheons, eras, all the things. But it's not just the owl people, because what you will see is that there are so many references to animistic energies, and we know some of them because we know the Egyptians already gave us that kind of popularity when we found the the pyramids. But they're also across multiple sites. And remember at the beginning of this, I think live, where I was talking about 2500 BC and before, just in that time frame, this is when all this energy was coming up. So you will see references about our people, wolf people, alligator people. You will see it, spider.
All the peoples.
All the animistic energies coming through as half person, half animal. And then you've got the mythos of the animal crossed with animal. Now research that shit. It'll blow your bloody mind. I promise you.
This is pushing me into the whole idea of the skinwalker. Oh my gosh.
Oh, that's another topic.
I just had
another hour.
Oh, I just had a thing that happened with that. No.
To next week's topic.
Yeah.
Okay, I will, because
this
happened this last week.
Next week is on my channel, and we don't have a lineup yet, so y'all four are more than welcome to be a part of next week's.
1, 2, 3, 4. I'm down.
We do these on Thursdays at 8 Central Time.
And 9 p.m. Eastern Time.
Works for me.
and I don't know what time that is for you, Crimson. That's
send me a
Facebook
Facebook
time.
message. I'm that person. Send me a Facebook message and I'll press the link, and I'm there.
I'll totally be there, but somebody has to make sure we leave off the topic of animism. Because
I want to bring up Animorphs again.
Damn it, Rowan.
I have a movie reference.
You got it, Keelan? I saw you writing.
I would love to touch on
They're all saying stuff.
and energies and
I'm
entities.
drinking.
I also have another conspiracy because earlier in the chat they were talking about biblical references, and something popped in my mind. I can't remember the actual technical name, but the name is that the God of the Old Testament and the New Testament are two different entities. But we're not going to talk
You
about
got
it.
to,
I'm gonna write it down.
You got a week to get your notes together, people. A week.
Okay, so
That
people,
I don't need notes. I'm talking with you. Like that's where I am.
so this is going to be the same as they call. What do they call it? The Witchy Brady Bunch. What do they call us?
The oh crap, it was just in my
Hollywood
brain.
Squares.
Hollywood Squares.
Witchy Hollywood
Hollywood
Squares.
So it'll be the same lineup next week, and it's going to be on my channel next week, and it'll be Thursday, same time.
We'll be there.
About
Thanks, I'll be there.
So it'll be a.m. for you, Mohammed.
Poor guy.
I'm sorry.
just on that note, Rowan, you mentioned, the two differences in the Bible. I just like people to look up the word shaitan and reference when its origin was and then when the Bible was supposedly written. Just saying, it's not just from ancient paganism that, of the Western cultures that it comes from. We've got some Middle Eastern cultures that have been also usurped from. So just look up the word shaitan and we'll
It's
see.
going to go down next week. It's going down. Go down.
I'm excited. I'm excited.
Noah said he wants to be part of next Thursday.
Who did?
Do it.
So how many people can be in one StreamYard at a time?
I believe 10,
yep.
but I'm not sure.
Okay.
10.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. This was great.
Yes, thank you for allowing me to come
I'm
on.
gonna opt out on the drinking on the next one, but I enjoyed it because at one point I thought I was watching TV. I was like, "This is fantastic!"
No.
I thought you were reading the comments because you were just like,
No, at first I was reading the comments, and then I was like, "Man, this is fantastic!" Like really? Like they don't have this. I play cable and I don't have this.
It's a good thing you didn't think you weren't here at all, and you just took your top off, and you're like, "Oh,
Right?
watching TV."
I was comfortable, took the bra off, and then like, "Oh, this is good. I'm about to get comfortable."
that's awesome.
I've just been like, okay.
And you start,
Here's our show for the evening.
and you start
If I do
popping.
have a drink, it'll be one, and it'll be not as strong as the two that my son-in-law made me today.
Well, then I need his recipe then. So
All right, I'm signing us out, guys. We're about to end this podcast.
Thank you guys. We'll see y'all next week.
Yes,
And-
Bye. Blessed be.
we'll be here.
Bye. I'm about to
Bye.
hit I haven't hit the button yet.